It's time for trigger warning.
Trigger warning! Fuck your feelings, you little snowflake. Triggerwarning.tv.
How dare you!
Hello, we're back again. Welcome to Trigger Warning. I'm Hayden Hewitt, and this is Greta Booth. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. I'm very good, man. I'm very, very good. I've got StreamYard open tonight, actually. So if anyone does do a StreamYard, I'll actually see it without you going, check StreamYard.
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs, sorry,
Streamlabs.
not StreamYard. Streamlabs. Yeah. The link's in the description there.
I'm sorry about before. I was just fucking with you with the.
Oh, was you?
Comment. Yeah.
Well,
I saw you sat
that.
there. I like the. Yeah, you figured that, right? That's why you went.
Well, I was just like, when it stopped and started again, I was like, right, yeah. And then your smiling face went, okay. How dare you, Aidan? How dare you intentionally make this look dodgy and
when we can do it quite by accident, yeah.
We've gone for the red t-shirts again, man. I'm a bit I'm all right. I'm not convinced my daughter's asleep, you know. I keep going in and she's like, I'm like, no. So we might have a little visitor soon.
It's a bit smoky up here tonight. Where the moors are on fire. Up near Woodhead, I think. So
oh shit!
It stank early. It was really strong. Every year there's a fire now up there.
You know what? I've been able to smell that. Yeah. I've had it only at night though. I think I guess once it calms down a bit, it's come over.
Imagine how strong it is over this way. It's
dude. Did you see just before we get going, man? Did you see they did it again? The 8 o'clock clap for the NHS has just become
Bridge.
Yeah, it's just become how to just infect London. And I bet all these people are the same ones that are sharing those videos of like, you know, the infection and like, look, your interaction with that person could infect 1,000 people. And then they're out.
I've had them all today as well. I've had them all today. All these snobbish pricks who are just basically, look how much more I'm into this than you are. Look how much more I am at protecting people. Snobbish, like looking down on people that have to go to work. You know, people go, look, when are we lifting this? Because I need to get my business. I've got people that rely on me, depend on me. Well, I think we should do another 6 months at least. Well, fuck you, trust fund, baby.
I know.
The rest of us have got problems.
Yeah, that's that attitude of like, well, it's not hard. Just watch Netflix, you know. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. You just,
I'll do that.
I'll just watch my daughter go slowly insane whilst running out of money. Because it's not hard.
Exactly. Better do a couple of hellos, and we got Alan Reader, Lee G, Aphid Lip, Smoke Steve, Happy Dog, Michael Smith, Cassius Claymore, Greg Topple, good to see you, fella Briggs Videos, Sutty's Rehab, Mr. Kill, C1, Fat Belly, and Topperoon, and Rick Kerr, and Don Quixote, and more. Do say hello. Remember, if it's your first time, we'll make it special for you. I promise. Just let us know. We'll be gentle, break in softly. We will take your digital hymen.
Have you seen everyone's going nuts about the 77 Brigade getting involved? Apparently, they're an online part of the army, so they've been brought in to counteract, as it was said, social media disinformation. And obviously now you can imagine, man, people are losing their minds about this. I mean, ignoring the fact that we've had 2 solid months of nothing but lies on social media, nothing but disinformation.
From the government, most of it.
Well, it's from fucking everyone, from absolutely everyone. Like it's just a big fat pile of nonsense. And now
we have the internet army. They're going to be. I predict 2 months till they all have nervous breakdowns.
I know,
max. Once the internet gets hold of them. Joe 90, Michael, of course, Nat Lynch and Edna. Hello, how you doing? Well, Trigger One, we had a phone conversation before, didn't we? And then I went and had a phone conversation with Daz.
Yeah.
And a few people like Fat Belly asked if we were going to do schedules and things, and it's all been kind of ad hoc, just trying to stream as much as we can with everything else that goes on in life and shit like that. But we've come up with a cunning plan. A cunning plan that going forward we'll carry on doing all the streams but we're going to start going back in on the Thursday to do an actual show.
Yeah.
Where we can really let rip. You know, because I miss really I've got like a month's worth of fucking bile and poison building up inside me. So the three of us are going to work on that through the week leading up to Thursday, still doing the shows, the virtual pub. We can't promise the virtual pub will continue forever on a Saturday night, but we'll always try and do one because it's fun to drink. It numbs the pain.
So what are you thinking then? Because I don't want to, because we wanted to be in this week. Are you thinking next week then?
I think that's when we'll start.
Is your work situation going to allow it?
I don't know, but we'll say yes. And
can I just say actually, for the 20 minutes we were talking about this yesterday, maybe Happy Dog was just finishing his wank, cleaning up. I don't know, but we did cover this in great detail yesterday.
Yes, we did. He was probably trying to brush the cum.
Yeah.
Out of his.
He was in the middle of his shame. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all he was doing.
I come on my back once. You know, some people get it in their eye. It's open over.
I think I remember those days.
Yeah, they're long. It was a while ago, mate. It wasn't this morning.
Berksy, we do know the virtual pub's important for all of us, and we'll definitely continue doing that until we can't. But it might be on a Friday night or a Saturday. We'll make sure it's always at the weekend and when we can, and we'll keep that going. The Tuesday night shows will obviously keep going. The Thursday, we'll turn that into a proper studio show because there might be some other stuff coming down the pipe where that'll be important as well. And then we'll just do as many other streams as we can and keep it flying.
I need to get back in the studio, man. Desperately. It's killing me, man. It's absolutely killing me.
I've just got this horrible feeling that we'll go in and we'll have all these detailed notes and things that we want to do, like making it a proper show. And I'll do what I usually do, which is from hello, just turn left from the notes and do one of those 45-minute rants.
Yeah. I just sit there with all the prep and pictures like that. Not yet. No. Oh, yeah.
I've not done one of those for a while. They were never planned, those, by the way, guys. Never once were any of them planned. I mean, there were many shows where I'd sit down with no idea what we were going to talk about. But the worst ones are the ones where we had topics, some notes on each topic, times, rough times when we'd be doing these things. And no, just something had set me off. And that would be it. Dunk Volvo, thank you for trying the Twitch stream. Hope it works for you there.
Oh yeah, wonderful. It is appreciated, especially because we need a certain number of viewers. We need 50 hearts, so we're nearly there now. So yeah, we do appreciate if people can jump over there. Partly because they monetize, and partly because if we get deleted, then hopefully you'll still be able to get a notification off us and of something that's easy to watch. Hey, do you know it's St. George's Day?
I do know it's St. George's Day, yeah, because I see all the posts reminding me that he was foreign.
I know, yeah,
and how it's racist and
I know. Well, fucking St. Patrick was from Britain, but nobody on St. Patrick Day goes, and he was taken as a fucking slave. Nobody sits there on St. Patrick's Day. No, they're in green, just getting wankered, going, oh, did you know I'm Irish?
We're the only country in Great Britain that has. I mean, I saw someone. In fact, someone blocked me for pointing this out because he decided it was fake news or some shit. I don't know, some mental fucking American. Someone actually said, Britain is the least racist country in Europe.
There's a lot of data.
Well, someone piled in going, well, that's only because of Scotland and Wales. England is a cesspit of intolerant racism. I'm like, which fucking script are you reading? I've been to both of those places. Glasgow is not what I'd call a beacon of fucking tolerance, and Wales, they're all fucking mental. They don't even like people's bungalows, let alone the people themselves. Fucking tolerance.
I love that.
But there's a script been written, hasn't there? There's a script been written, which is now that Scotland is this pro-European beacon of sanity and justice, and Wales is as well, and only England
Oh yeah,
is the bad one.
I do love it though. I love it like St. George, and it's like he's from the Middle East. Checkmate, racist. It's like okay, so was Jesus, but there's a lot of churches everywhere. Let's calm down.
Why can't you just be happy? Why can't you just be happy?
It's not even about it. It's just the story, isn't it? Luke Skywalker isn't real, but he still inspires people.
Was he from the Middle East?
Probably.
Tatooine. He wasn't from there, was he? Just moved there.
He certainly wasn't English. What with all that multiculturalism and visiting places.
Multi-speciesism.
Yeah. Did you see? Before we move on from that, though, did you see Jeremy Corbyn did a Ramadan tweet?
Oh God, no!
And everyone was like, "Oh, it's St. George's Day as well." He's like, "No, I'm celebrating Ramadan with my local people, which is fine." But so I did do a little search on his Twitter, and he doesn't forget to do St. Patrick's Day. Oddly enough,
imagine that.
All his Irish mates.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Wherever there's a terrorist, he's got a friend.
I know, yeah.
Wherever there's a terrorist, Jeremy Corbyn's got a friend. I forgot what I was going to say then. I got quite angry about Jeremy Corbyn. Hang on, he'll come back. Oh, yes. We're constantly berating Westminster for not locking down soon enough, hard enough, not having an exit plan. Why is Nicola Sturgeon getting an easier ride of it in Scotland? Because they didn't shut down any earlier than us. And it was her choice.
They forced the school shut down for us. They were like, so it was literally the same day. There's no.
They weren't really any earlier, were they? So
no.
Why isn't she getting shit for that? Why is it just Boris that's the butcher?
I don't know.
Because we've got less cases in Scotland, apparently.
Well, I think like per capita though, they're not far off, are they? It's not like some huge fucking. It's not like New Zealand, is it? Although that's the one I love them holding up at the moment. They're like New Zealand, that's run by a woman, innit? Look how they're doing, and it's like but there's like 4 million people in the whole country. They've got less people in their country, in the entirety of the country, which is huge, than the city of Wuhan. Greater Manchester's got about as many people as fucking New Zealand. So don't give me this like, oh, well, see what happened when there was a woman there. It's like, what, with a load of sheep farmers? They're already isolated. What the fuck are you talking about? What?
Read the first comment. White Hawk. I just got off my shift from the hospital. It was like a war zone. Oh, we danced so hard.
But it is. Alex has kind of summed it up there, hasn't he? It's similar to the situation in America. If something goes right, they thank the local people. If something goes wrong, it goes up to Trump, and it's the same here. Anything that goes wrong, everyone's like the government, and then anything that goes right, it's like those fucking. Thank you, NHS. Thank you. I think ultimately there's going to be, when we're talking about a global pandemic, there's no right or wrong thing. Like every single action, every single course will have deaths, will have issues, and there's pros and cons and all that. And yeah, man, maybe in a couple of years we'll look back and be like, oh, we could have done that, but. It's not nearly as bad as the Times thing was making out. They make out like the government were just sat there going,
that's just the way the press are at the minute, isn't it? But Trump, he was bigging up the protesters who were protesting against the lockdown. And saying, we got to open it, we got to do this, got to do that. Well, now that a governor said, right, I'm opening up one of the states, I forget which one, we're opening it up, and he's like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea.
Is that what you're doing? What are you doing? Yeah, I saw that. Don't read my tweets, dickhead. Tweets are propaganda. You're not supposed to do what they say. Fucking hell. We'd be in World War IV right now if everyone believed me fucking tweets, dickhead. That's me playing the crowd. Yeah, I know, it was so funny.
Is that what you're doing? It's harsh. These people are right. These people are right. You're opening up? Oh, I wouldn't open up. I think that's a terrible idea.
I think it's funny though. Like if you actually go, and it's hard to see it sometimes because any stories about Trump are all like that. But a big criticism that they had, and it was framed badly. They were like the lie about stopping flights from China. They're like, it's a lie. There's loads of flights coming in, and ultimately though, it was green card holders and US citizens, You know, there's flights haven't stopped coming in because people need to come home. The vast majority of them, and doctors and all the rest of it, that's what they were. But the Democrats have been calling Trump weak for like weeks now. Like, why are you still letting him in? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, because they're US citizens, dickhead. So now he's just stopped all immigration. He's gone, all right. Oh, weak, am I? 60 days, no more immigration. Fuck you. Biden actually had the balls to say that Trump was weak on China. And it's like, are you insane, mate? Is that the road? You're gonna try and out MAGA Donald Trump, are you? Fucking weak on China.
Everyone's weak on China in reality.
Well, we all have been, haven't we? I fucking love it. I love all this shit they sent me.
Genuinely think we should invoice them.
Australia are looking at doing that already. They're already talking about land grabs. You know, if they don't pay up, they're talking about land grabs. And there's some people who've been getting this dodgy PPE that are like, I want my fucking money back. Which is hilarious that that's not just like a standard thing right now. Like, I've just given you $8.5 million for PPE and it was all shit. I want my fucking money back. China's like,
not happening. When companies have their intellectual property adopted by a Chinese company and they go to the Chinese government going, look, they're ripping us off, it's an exact copy, and China's government are just like, oh well, tough shit.
Yeah,
tough shit. I knew guys that ran guitar factories down there when they were, you know, getting them into making guitars that weren't terrible shit. And this, you know, like, you'd be building it at one factory, and by the end of the second or third day, his brother, who had a factory on the other side of town, would be cranking out the same stuff. And the minute you didn't pay, the minute you were a day late, the factory was making your guitars is now making kitchens, and your guitar's being made by somebody else with nothing to do with you. It's fucking insane. It's absolutely insane.
It's horrific, and it can't carry on.
It's their fucking fault. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Well, oh, you shouldn't say that. Fuck them. It's their fault. This should not have happened the way it did. The minute I find out, I was talking to Richie about this when he was saying where it might have originated from. I said, irrelevant. When they shut down the Hubei province from traveling anywhere else in China, but still let them go anywhere else in the world, fuck them. You know?
Yeah. 100%, man. 100%. It's astonishing that we've put it up with it for so long, and it was just the low prices. It was just cheap. And the green crowd turn the back on it, well, for two reasons, obviously, because of the sort of socialist communist thing. They're still holding out like, oh well, it's got its flaws, but you know, they're on the path, they're on the journey. But it's also because that's where all the materials come from for all these solar panels and shit. They all come from China. It's fucking little kids digging them up and Muslim slaves in the concentration camps, you know. And it's funny. That's why I can't be fucking dealing with all this green nonsense, because it's just, you've just picked a very narrow focus that that allows you to present yourself as morally superior to the rest of us, and I'm not interested, man.
Using a device which has basically slave African labor and Indian labor digging the rare minerals out the fucking earth, making themselves very, very ill in the process. You know, and then there's a shit in the batteries and everything else. Although I had a little conspiratorial moment to myself today, because I was thinking about, you know, the tracking gap. Starting bouncing around like crazy here.
You're all right, man. You're all right.
In the old days, you thought if you didn't want your mobile phone tracking, you could just take the battery out. How many phones have removable batteries now?
No, they got rid of that now, didn't they? I didn't like that, and in fact, I wasn't. I got the Pixel because I loved it. You know, I just love it. It's just, I like the fact that there's not the extra stuff there that Samsung have ever put on. But a big thing where I faltered for a little bit was like, I can't take the battery out. I mean, for a start, when just purely when my battery starts getting old, I want to change it without it being some huge event, you know. Yeah, go on, Sutty. I know. Yeah, China on the Human Rights Council. I know.
So wasn't which Middle Eastern country was on it for? Was it Syria or Iran or something like that? Saudi Arabia were on there and all. Basically, if you are a totalitarian regime that frequently enslaves and slaughters other people, you're a shoo-in for the Human Rights Council. You're an absolute fucking shoo-in for it. You got no problem. No, you've gone quiet, Graham. You're muted. No,
sorry, I was muting for my smoke. I just don't want to, because I've been coughing so much at the moment. I keep thinking I got the COVIDs, man. But yeah, have you heard of Dr. Emily Cousins? She put out an amazing Huffington Post article today. She got a BA in philosophy, politics, and economics. She then moved on to an MA in women's studies. So she's got a master's in women's studies, which straight away is like, well, okay, so an MA now doesn't really mean as much as it used to, does it? But not only that, she got a PhD, and her doctoral thesis explored feminism and the politics of vulnerability. And as I tweeted at her today, that means the doctorates mean nothing now. If you can get a doctorate, if you can go around calling yourself doctor because you did a thesis about fucking feminism and vulnerability, it doesn't mean anything. But you're still going to put it in front of your name there. Well, she put out this amazing article today. And it was in response to the fact that in Oxford, they've just started human trials for a cure. And she works at Oxford. She teaches there. She teaches MA. The vaccine.
Not cure.
Oh, sorry. I said that wrong.
All right, we've got to be careful. We've got to be factual. This is
no, you're right. But she's not happy. She doesn't like the idea of white people saving the world. She doesn't like the idea of us sending the vaccine abroad because it will reinforce British superiority or some shit. It's absolutely fucking insane, and people have been roasting her to death on Twitter, which makes me very, very, very happy.
Why we need to be in the studio tonight. That one, that's. Oh, if only we were big enough to get these people on the show so I could shout at them face to face.
I know. But yeah, this is the quote. If my university is the first to develop the vaccine, I'm worried that it will be used as it has been in the past to fulfill its political, patriotic function as proof of British excellence. So not even like superiority, just excellence.
Isn't
like,
that a good thing?
She can't stand the thought of British people being proud that they've come up with a vaccine for this. She can't stand it. It's just too much for her. I mean,
a lot of these follow back pro-Europe types are the same. That they want us to fail just so they can feel better about their choices. They want a country to fail, which means they want people to die. You can say that about, well, you voted Leave, that's a vote for austerity and all that. Yeah, but you actively want it to happen. You deny any achievement we have. Anything we do well, you deny, you push it into the shit. There's a couple of guys I know that are expats, and day in, day out, they're posting about the stupidity of England and Great Britain. I'm like, do you know what? Fuck you people. Why do you... Yeah, all right, I don't like the fucking Tories. Yes, I think we made some bad choices, but I don't want the countries to fail. Why would I want that to happen? You know, when we first started taking the piss out of Trump all the time. Oh, you just want America to fail? I said, no, I fucking don't. Why would I want a country I really like to fail? You know, but these people do. They desire failure. Yeah. Which is why I hope we make a success of everything, so we can rub their fucking. So they will have been missold, FPPE. They will have been missold it, and fuck them, fuck all of them.
I love Dr. Emily Cousins' inherent racism as well, of just declaring that the vaccine is white. I mean, yeah, we are a white majority country, but I got the list up of people who are working on it, man, and there's quite a lot of names there. There's a couple of hundred people working there, and you've got Papa Stravidias, you've got Francisco Urbano.
They're not really old English names.
I'm gonna. You've got Anika Nupel. I'm guessing that there's people from all over the fucking world working on this, and we know for an absolute fact that Oxford isn't an exclusively white place. So it's a really strange place to come from.
What's the problem with excellence? What is the problem with excellence and striving to attain it?
Yeah, it's
supposed to be so guilty about things England did 200 years ago that somehow we should refuse to want to be better. We should wallow in it.
Why would we not want like the one of the best university, well, the best university in the country, and therefore one of the best in the world, if not the best,
Absolutely,
to come up with a cure using the expert and the knowledge, the expertise and knowledge from people from all over the planet?
It's racist, Graham. It's white supremacy, and it's probably transphobic.
We've already got companies sat there just waiting to run this, waiting to mass produce it. Do you know what I mean? We just need to know it's safe and all that. It's just insane to me that you'd want that to fail, and that you'd want that and they're like, oh well, there's going to be shortages. We won't be able to get it out to other countries fast enough. No, we won't. Sorry about that, we won't. But I'm sure we will.
Look after us first. What's wrong with that?
Well, just the same way that other countries are.
These people drive me fucking insane. They're just literal human shit bait. They're just the worst kind of fucking arseholes. And they attract other fucking arseholes, all gang up together on social fucking media and then cancel anyone that doesn't fall in fucking goose stepping with them. Fucking, what a disgraceful one with a shit fucking PhD. I need to buy one on the internet so I can be Dr. Hayden Hewitt.
I'll just write an essay about vulnerability, apparently, and then you're good to
go with that. Superiority.
I'd love you to write like an ironic. It'd be so funny to read your paper, your feminism thesis. It would make me very, very happy.
I could do it. Last time I got in trouble for anything near that was telling a guy to man up on Twitter.
Oh, really?
You're not supposed to say that. He was going out. He was just some whiny prick. I said, oh, come on, mate, man up. Oh, he might have depression. Oh, fuck him. Not my problem. I didn't give it him.
It's a good time to man up if you've got depression.
It's the time to man up.
That's how you're going to get on the other end of it, isn't it?
You shouldn't say man up because it's toxic masculinity, which I'm still not sure what that is.
I love it when any kind of like psychologist does a you know, like a HuffPo or a BuzzFeed about depression and anxiety and mental health and stuff, and whenever they mention exercise, like the entirety of woke Twitter just collectively loses their mind. They're like, how dare you? How fucking dare you? And it's like, I'm sorry, man, but you need to go for a walk. I know it's hard, but you need to get the fuck out there. I mean, I slip into it. I slip into kind of an agoraphobic state of mind where I'm, you know, if I can choose one or the other, I have to have reasons to go out. I have to force myself to do it. Like I'll promise my daughter and I'll big her up. So she'll then come in and go, it's time. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Because I'll slip into not going out. But then I go out and feel great. But yeah, I love it. I love how offended they get. It's not as simple as that. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not. You're not going to go for a run and suddenly be over your depression. Sorry, mate, but nobody's fucking saying that. But if you don't get off your ass, you're never getting better.
I have a suspicion, although you can never understand somebody else's symptoms, but most of the people that say, yeah, I have got mental health issues, well, you haven't. There's fuck all wrong with you apart from the fact you're a prick. Absolute prick. Because whenever I see them talk about the symptoms, it's textbook. Every single time it's textbook. I've never met anyone in real life that's been textbook, ever, because that's not what the textbooks are actually for. They're a list of possibles which you diverge from. But these people, if you ever look, yeah, I'm bipolar. Yeah. I've never seen you on a fucking upswing yet.
No, you spend 10 hours a day on Twitter. That's your fucking problem there. That is your problem. You're sitting there moaning about your doctor because your doctor hasn't got the right pills, and yet you don't get off your fucking ass ever and do anything. Like, seriously, man, if I'm down...
It's the serial posting on Twitter. I don't get that. I mean, I know everyone's different. I know when I had problems when I was in my 20s, before there was bipolar, when you used to deny there was anything wrong because it was still fucking embarrassing. I didn't want to do anything for 8 hours a fucking day apart from maybe sleep.
But the problem with Twitter is you can find whatever you want on there, can't you? So you can find the worst person ever to set your aggression, and then you become the hero then. You're shouting back at whoever. Twitter is fucking horrific. And Instagram, if you're a woman, is just stay the fuck off Instagram. I'm going to beg my daughter not to go on that, or whatever the version of that is at the moment. Because there's a direct link to Instagram and self-harm for young girls. It's not even fucking up in the air. It's direct. They can see the years. And as Instagram got more popular, self-harm just went, woohoo.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfection, isn't it? And women are horrible as well. Women are horrible.
Oh, women are far crueler than men.
Yeah, like men are dicks about it.
I think one of the big problems we got, and by the way, I wasn't suggesting everyone that says they're depressed isn't. I'm talking about certain, the
yeah, of course, yeah.
Posers. I think the death of, and I don't even like using the word now, but the death of banter, taking the piss, that's been a terrible loss. Oh, toxic masculinity masking the pain. Good. That's the fucking idea. You turn anything into something you can have a chuckle at. It's what we're supposed to do. But now you can't say anything, do anything, look at anyone fucking sideways. When people say, okay, boomer to me, now I'm thinking I might as fucking well be. I am so far away from where they are. It's unreal.
It's why they're all on Animal Crossing, man. Nothing can hurt them. Was it The Onion or someone to put out an article when Animal Crossing came out saying like nothing can hurt you, it's all safe, and everyone was commenting going, well, actually, I got stung by a wasp, and it's like, yeah, and you just went, oh, and then got up. It didn't hurt you, it was fucking hell. But no, it's safe there. I'll give you some of my pears, and you give me some of your oranges, and then we'll both go decorate our houses, and there's no swears, and there's no sex here. No, you choose your style, and everyone's a they. Everyone's a they. Yeah, they can just sit there.
The other day, I forgot to have a pop at him because I got sidetracked. But he had his pronouns in there, which is always a fucking dead giveaway. But his were him. No, he, they. He, they.
Yeah.
Not him. But why is he only partly non-binary? I don't understand. How can you be quarter binary now?
They're desperately to be special, aren't they? Desperate to be special. And that's what it is. That's why they come up with a new gender. That's why they come up with queer. The approach. Queer is just a straight person who's like, yeah, but I'm not with the straights. I'm an ally. I'm queer. It's like, fuck off.
That's not true. Queer means strange. That's what queer means.
Yeah,
something strange. That's queer. And it also means gay person. That's just what it means. Oh, but we've appropriated the word. Okay.
But then Q can also mean questioning as well. So it's like a trap. It's just anything.
Just if you're questioning, you're gay. If you're bi, you're gay. If you're a man and you suck a dick, you're gay. Be happy. Go suck more dick.
Maybe you just like to feel ashamed of yourself, Hayden.
Gay. I can't imagine there's many. I mean, there's bound to be some. I can't imagine there are a lot of people in this world that sucks a dick just to see what it was like, without actually wanting to. Just no, it's not for me.
I tried to see what it was, but I didn't know. I couldn't do it. Couldn't get close. It's like like the two positive ends of a magnet. I felt that. He was gorgeous, but you never know.
Do you know what? I've never even been tempted to try. I'm quite impressed you've shared that with the group.
I've shared plenty of stuff like that with the group. I'm not asked. No, of course I tried. But no, but he did. We did fall asleep, and then he was the big spoon, and I could feel his plate. I could feel his thing down there, and we had pants on and everything. We were fully dressed, but I couldn't big spoon a girl for a couple of years after that because I felt so violated. But I was like, I don't want to make any woman feel the way I felt that night. Of course I am. Hey, here's a good one for the WHO, and obviously people deserve to be, tarred, feathered, and banned from all social media if they question the WHO. Well, now there's talk of ventilators not actually being the right thing to do for quite a lot.
This came out a couple of weeks ago. That doctor, went live. They said, look, this is the wrong thing to do. They're just, CPAP machine, maybe if they're struggling with breathlessness, but not full ventilation.
But not shoving the pipes down. Yeah. So I'm like, what are we doing now? So all the people that have been screaming about ventilators and Boris the Butcher for not having enough or for not signing up to the magical scheme that would provide them, should they all be banned now for being?
I've seen it explained. No, I've seen it explained. Nobody knew you shouldn't ventilate. Therefore, we should have had them anyway. No, just again, Manzi Monster, just a CPAP machine.
Like that Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
Indians. I've seen it. Oh, dude, I was thinking today, and we went on the LGBTQ a little bit just now, and it made me think again that we've
Graham.
Go on. What? HLGBT plus. But it made me so sad for like British culture that these idiots are destroying, because we've had for years, like Panto was just, you had the dame, you had a really loud guy in a dress over the top, and not just that, drag culture in general, it was a proud part of our heritage, and these activists have just fucked it up so much now, and it annoys me because we've literally got for as long as anyone alive in this country remembers, we've got this sort of tranny part of our culture, and it's just been fucked up now. It's been completely fucked up. People just the thought of a man in a dress, they go, oh, this is unbelievable, you're corrupting our youth, and it's like, well, Panto was never about corrupting people, it makes me sad.
Sorry. Not that one. Hobosexual. Sounds like the kind of video I'd watch. I mean, it has ruined. Christopher Biggins will never work again. It has. He's taken something out because we had bars like looking Manchester Foo-Foos, Frank Lamar, crossdresser. That wouldn't fly now. He built a fucking empire off of that.
Well, even all the way back, Monty Python, all these comedians going through the years that were respected and lauded and loved, and it was just part of our thing. And then now it's just this political statement, and it's this well, Monty Python aren't allowed to do that if they're queer. Like one of them's gay, so he's allowed. Maybe if we give him permission, and it's just like, oh, fuck yourselves, you fucking assholes. I can't stand it.
He already died of the AIDS anyway, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what killed him, actually. Was it the AIDS? Poor bastard.
Graham Chapman.
Yeah.
Sure, it was the AIDS.
I like Graham Chapman.
It was probably cancer. Your Wikipedia, that always has a death section on it, doesn't it? Death. No, it was cancer.
Oh, bless him.
His dentist found a small but malignant tumor in one of his tonsils. The following year, the cancer spread into his spinal cord. Fucking hell. Towards the end, that's when he was in the video for Can I Play With Madness, wasn't it? Iron Maiden's video.
Okay.
Oh, fucking hell, Graham's checking for lumps now. Google's woke up. Well, speaking of death, we got my mother-in-law's death certificate through.
Yes.
And it doesn't have COVID-19 on it. They've put that she died from a lower respiratory tract infection and dementia. Now, like we said at the time, she might have died anyway. But if it was a lower respiratory tract infection, why did no one go and see her? Except the nurse administering the end-of-life drugs. Why did no one go around and give her antibiotics, fluids? Why did this not happen? So it was a bit of a mixed blessing getting that today, to be honest. Because the doctor was pretty sure it was COVID. That's how he was treating it. He was pretty sure. It's what he said. I'm treating it as COVID-19. Doesn't appear to have been. So he's changed his mind. She wouldn't have been ventilated for that anyway, because she had DNR previously. So they could have taken her in, given her antibiotics for 12 hours. 12 hours.
Yeah.
Could have done it. Didn't let her die. So she died of a chest infection and apparently dementia.
Wouldn't she have been better off just risking getting fucking COVID and just being taken into hospital?
Yes.
You know, ultimately.
Yes, or get someone out there to set up an IV at the home.
Yeah, it disgusts me that no one, like, and it's good now that it's finally getting through, and I am seeing a lot of it now. I'm seeing a lot of MPs getting on it. I'm seeing a lot of journalists getting on it, but it's too little, too late, really. Like it's just, you know, and even now they're like, I saw one MP today saying, "Well, I said at the start that 111 couldn't cope," and it's like, okay, so but how is there not coping? How does that translate to just saying, "Oh yeah, let's just not give someone care"? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
We're just not sending anybody. We're just going to leave people to die, and it's happened again and again and again and again and again. And whenever I talk about it, there's always some cunt that pops up telling me not to fearmonger. It's like, fuck you, people are dying. So when people tell me about the lockdown saving lives, how many people has it killed? And they go, well, you don't have those figures. I said, no, we never will. No. We never fucking will, because it's killing people now. If this carries on for much longer, it's going to kill a hell of a lot more people. Probably a lot more than COVID-19 would. Poverty doesn't have a 1% death rate.
Yeah. Every single day, the economy loses enough to build a new hospital. Mm-hmm. It's a couple of billion every day.
Sean's asking if we're suing them. I don't know where it is with that, because they've got guidelines out the arse for this. Been looking at it, they've got themselves covered. They just have to suspect, and then they can treat you accordingly. Get used to that.
The thing is, man, the government makes the laws, and the government provides healthcare. So, you know, what do? You have a 30-year investigation, by which time everyone who is involved is gone anyway. It doesn't matter. And then there's just an apology with some fucking crippled ancient Hayden outside the steps going, finally. And that's all you fucking get. You know.
Not only that. The other thing with suing. Number one, the only thing you get out of it is, oh, we're terribly sorry, lessons have been learned. And if there was money, it'd just bring my wife's thunder cunt of a sister back into our lives. Don't want that. I'll blog about that. It'd be nice to tell everyone what a tremendous thunder cunt she actually is and what she put my wife through, where her mother's concerned. But we just don't want that. Everyone's walked away. The politicians have all walked away. The news, everyone just walked away. So, you know, that's it. I don't have a lot of reach. For some reason, a German TV company reached out to me today, their version of the BBC. I don't know if there's any point in me fucking talking to them. I don't know what that would do for me.
Well, you know, I mean, dude, it's all rocks in the river, isn't it? And you just need, you know, you might not feel like your little stone's doing much, but they all add up eventually and create a dam. And then you have to notice.
Tired.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
Tired. You're struggling against all the usual shit everyone's struggling right now. Then I had to see my wife put through what she was put through with a mum. I had to sit an 8-year-old kid down and tell him the day after his birthday, your nana's just died. I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that. You know, a sister didn't tell her she died. We had to find out. No one's rang my wife to tell her when the funeral is. I had to ring her out until I found out where her mum was being kept. It's just been exhausting. And the more you reach out and go, look, everybody listen, the more it just gets squashed. So I saw the Daily Mirror picked up a bit of that Daily Mail one. Now, you know, in the Daily Mail where they corroborated that 111 wouldn't send an ambulance, the Daily Mirror's but the family claim no one would send an ambulance, and that's where it stopped.
That's not your fucking job, is it? It's, you know, it's your job to fucking check these things. This is why papers are dying, and it frustrates me because, you know, and I'm not putting us in this camp, but there's a lot of good sort of YouTube journalists out there who work on a very, very local level who are willing to do the work and willing to check these things, but they get crushed. They get completely destroyed by the likes of the Mirror. You know, whilst the Mirror sits there aggregating stories from other websites and doing zero journalism, They're also then on the next page publishing a story about evil YouTube and its far right propaganda, which has been debunked thoroughly, absolutely phenomenally. It goes the other way. YouTube pushes you left. The Republican Party's going left. They've gone left under Trump, but then you look at the media and they don't want to compete, do they? Absolute fucking scumbag.
Well, I mean, we spoke about this last time in the media putting out the call that there should be a windfall tax on technology companies to pay for legacy media who are struggling. I don't think I understand that. What's this shit now? That's
like demanding that we keep rotary phones, or you know what I mean, or mobiles with big. It's like, you know, the guys that used to make the aerials for mobile phones that you had to put up. It's like the guy that owns the factory that made them just going, this isn't fair. I need my subsidies to keep going. It's like, yeah, but no one needs you anymore, mate. I'm sorry. You're
spent all those years encouraging campaigns and crushing online. They could all be making a good living right now.
Oh, damn right. And there's plenty of people who are. They
fucked it for themselves. So, guys, you're gonna have to learn how to code. Get banned on Twitter for that, don't you?
I see what you're saying about how hard it is, though, and it does. It's why I respect the likes of Glinner, you know, and on all them, because I mean, I don't even agree. Glinner's an arsehole. He's an absolute dick, and I don't agree with his perspective on most things. And I fucking warned him before all this kicked off. I remember tweeting him and warning him, and he quote tweeted me to try and shame me and all this bullshit. And that was like maybe a month before he got dragged into it. But good on him. He did get dragged into it, and he did see the light. And I do respect how hard this must have been for him, because he won't be getting any work right now. He won't be getting anything. And he was loved by them. He was one of their heroes. He was the good guy. And it is hard. It is fucking hard dealing with journalists and dealing with MPs and all that bollocks and dealing with hospitals and records. And it's a fucker. I used to get paid full time to do it for vulnerable people, just on a basic level. And it killed me, man. I couldn't do that whilst I had a kid.
I wouldn't mind so much. It's just at the moment you got all the other pressures. You know, we're in an incredibly toxic environment for trying to get work and get money, and I've got to keep that afloat. I've got to keep a roof over our heads. Got to do all the other things I want to do. Shit that I want to do, so trigger one and stuff like that. And it's just not a lot of energy left at the minute, because, as you know, the past 12 months, it's been one thing after another, after another, after another, after. It's just not stopped, and you just reach the point where it's like, you know, I'm going to have to pull the drawbridge up here.
I know.
Take care of business, and I did what I could. I mean, I'll probably change my mind in the morning, but right now it's like, I've done everything I can. There's nothing more I can do. I'm the guy from the beheading website, for fuck's sake. Which people still remind me. I love that. How can you have an opinion? You made your money from beheadings. How? How much? It didn't pay very well. Not only that, we didn't have a lot, but it don't matter. I make my money off misery. And what I love, though, to this day, it pleases me greatly, is they embrace a platform to tell me this that has worse stuff on it than we've ever carried. And I embraces pedophiles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, sex Twitter. Like, people get cut off from sex Twitter, but it's a huge thing. Massive. Like, you know, the sex side of Twitter keeps it going. And there's a lot of people on there that are openly sharing pictures of young girls right there on Twitter. And it's not like, obviously they get reported and get taken away, but there's no, they will not draw a line against pornographic material. Like, it's come from dickhead, whatever his name is.
Pedophiles, because like one psychologist got 10 others to sign a letter saying it's for their good. Fuck them. It'll stop them offending. Bet it doesn't.
Yeah, well, that brings me back to that Dr. Emily Cousins, who's, you know, like, you got these psychologists, you got these people, these doctorates don't mean a fucking thing anymore, because you actually search their name and you realize, oh, wait, they didn't do anything of fucking value. They just regurgitated some nonsense from the 70s about power structures and feminism and vulnerability and that. But then there's 10 doctors have signed this letter, and 10 doctors that don't know a fucking thing about the world.
4 of them are chiropractors.
Yeah.
Astrologers. It's all bollocks. It's all fucking bollocks. You know, everyone's got a high horse. Everyone's stood up there on their pedestal, trying to look down at everyone else, and they hate the fact that I'm just stood there going, bullshit. You're full of shit. I love it when the pedos do that to me. How can you be moralistic when you've done what you've done? Yeah, but I don't fuck kids. Maybe that's not much of a line in the sand, but at least that's the one I chose. I don't do that. You know, I don't fantasize about rape.
It's weird that we're living in like a 2020 where you have to say, well, at least I don't fuck kids. You know, that never used to be a thing. That never used to be an at least thing, like
that
morally.
Was the minimum any society expected from you. You know, it was the very least. But it's the one I was brought to. I don't sit around thinking about fucking kids. Because one said, well, you're a male. That just means if I'm a potential child rapist, you're a potential rapist. Yeah, but I don't fantasize about that either. That's the point. I don't fantasize about raping people. It's not something that appeals to me. Whereas every pedophile's fantasy is rape. They'll say, no, when we fantasize, the child is agreeing to it. The child is consenting. Yeah, it's called rape. It's called
grooming. You know, yeah. My kid thought she wanted to tidy the house today, but it's just because I fucking talked her into it in certain ways that I do. You know, there's certain, we're doing quests, whatever the fuck it is, however I have to do it. Even if it's some weird emotional thing where I'll go this route at the moment. I go, oh, don't worry about this. You're a bit young for this. She'll go, no, daddy, no. And then she's just scrubbing, and I'm
just old school. I just threaten my son with the removal of a privilege if he doesn't do something.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
He's too clever. He knows I'll never go through with it. You know, sometimes the minor things will, but I usually fucking come to another agreement or an arrangement. It's the light of my fucking life. What can I do? I can only be strict for an hour at a time. It doesn't work out for much longer than that, because when he's moping around, tripping over his own bottom lip, I feel fucking bad. You know.
The point is, though, like, my daughter can't consent to fuck all, no matter what you tell yourself. You know, grooming's a thing. Let's not try and Anya's saying, Graham, she's young, that won't work for much longer. I know it won't work, but I'm just trying to create good habits. You know, I know, I'm just trying to show her that if we all chip in, the house is nice and we're all happier. That's all I'm trying to do.
Wait till she finds out that if she doesn't chip in, it still gets done.
Well, I found that out a long time ago. My missus has been bedbound for 2 days and fucked her back up so badly from doing chores. She can't stop. She had 1 day off last week. She worked Monday, Friday, and Sunday. She had Saturday off, and she fucking cleaned the whole time. And I was there on the couch with my blanket, just going, "Stop it! Come on, sit down. It'll get done."
I caught Mrs. Hewitt brushing the shed today. I think I'm pushing her to the edge.
Yeah,
she was out in the garden.
I love that she's in the shed.
She was just brushing the front of the shed. I was like, right, hey, don't just say what are you doing, because it sounds accusatory, and you know, you do have a way of saying things that tends to set people on edge. Cobwebs, just got the you know that that means if you were any kind of man, you'd have done this job. But you know, it's best to leave them alone, these things. It's like obviously at the minute I know what's wrong, but usually in general, the men that make the worst mistakes are the ones that ask, "What's up?" Because it's you, dickhead. It's always you. Don't ask.
What's going on? You all right?
What are you thinking about? No.
She said, watching a Dungeons and Dragons night. What?
And of course, never say, "What have I done now?" Because you'll get a list. So all that shit I don't understand. Are you all right? Fine.
Paul said this. I feel that's the one thing I feel really bad about. If she comes home, sometimes she'll will have gone shopping. She'll bring it in. She'll go in there, and I think she's putting the shopping away. I go in and she's just chopping. I'm like, "Are you serious? You've not even sat down from work yet, and you're just cooking?" And she's like, she couldn't cook for shit when I met her either. But she's you know, we all romanticize certain things with our kids, and she really wants her daughter to remember, sort of associate certain meals with her. So she learned to make a handful of things, and she just always makes those things. And she's a really good cook now, man. She's, in terms of, those focused dishes or whatever. But I feel awful, man. I love it when she comes home and I've made something. But
see, that's the thing. No one loves coming home when I've made something.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
the combination of burnt and raw apparently is not really great for the human palate.
Half the time she'll get back and I'm reading some 82-page government report so that we can talk about it for 30 seconds on tonight's show. And what you're doing? Oh God, you won't believe this report, man. It's unbelievable. What's it about? Oh, it take me too long to explain it. And then she's cooking, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm just silent, still reading it.
Importance, some things are more important than others. It's just the way it is. She understands that you have to do this research.
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's all monetary theory. This modern money theory thing is just insane. The way they've done it, they broke up. What's it called? The national thing, the
GDP.
National GDP. Yeah,
gross domestic product.
They've got that equation, and they've got the fact that like people's savings are in there, and government spending is in there. And they've somehow jigged it around just enough so that they've convinced themselves that the more the government spend, that equals more savings for people. And it doesn't make any sense. But like lots, your AOCs and your Bernies and all them sort of people that call themselves, they've just convinced themselves this is true. And I've been losing my mind trying to get my head around it for the last few days.
Talk about, not tonight, but on a future show, you've been seeing a lot lately of universal basic income. So I was thinking we might as well get Stephen on one evening, because although he's not an expert in universal basic income,
I'd love to talk to him.
He is an economist. And
he knows more. He knows a lot more about it than me. I'm on the angry outside of it. I've not lived and breathed it.
I did have a chat with him once about Keynesian rules and things like that, and
it'd be good.
He knows a lot more than I do. But we spoke around the topics. I think we'll get him on.
And,
go over.
That's good. Because he's one of them. If I start getting screamy and shouty, he's not going to be like, "Oh, sorry." He'll fucking get in there, which is what's needed, isn't it?
He'll just ask you how much you like that studio.
He can. The second he tries to hold that over me in any way whatsoever, I'll just be like, right,
You're so full of shit.
He go fuck himself. If it I'm out of focus. There we go. If he wants to have a conversation, that's fine. If he wants to blackmail me, then I'm not interested in any way whatsoever. I'll tell him he's wrong when he's wrong. It's funny though, they're all going on about UBI now, going on about Spain. Oh, Spain's brought UBI in. It's been proven to make people healthier and stuff. No, it hasn't. For a start, Spain isn't doing UBI. That's a fucking lie brought on by the independent.
So UBI doesn't involve just giving people money. There has to be a lot of other things brought in. Now, I'm a believer that it could be tremendously beneficial and paid for quite easily. But you've got to look at the benefits it brings. You also have to change your mindset quite a lot. And, the way you'd control inflation and cost of things. So there's a lot involved in it.
There's a hell of a lot. Yeah.
I believe it would be incredibly beneficial to society. But that's one we'll work through on the show, because it's not just a case of, I don't believe just giving people money is great for society, because that doesn't work.
Yeah, well, that'd be interesting. I'm going to have used to. Is he up for it then? Is he?
I've not asked him. I don't want to ask him.
All right. I'm going to be in between used to talking nonsense about how great UBI is.
Yeah, and then you can tell you can go over Keynes' stuff and tell me, because remember, UBI is not, to me, just giving people money. That's not how it works. That's not what it is. But there are very real benefits to it. It's not a communist idea. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's an entirely capitalistic endeavor. Entirely. It does away with benefits. It's
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I can get into that with him, because I can. I'll get into that with him. I'll get into that when we get him on. I'd love to get him on.
It is actually an entirely capitalistic endeavor. I do not come at it from the socialist, let's give everyone loads of money angle, because that doesn't work. It does not work. There has to be a lot more to it. But we'll definitely get into it, because I think that'd be quite interesting. We'll probably end up with about 10 viewers, but I'll find it quite interesting. So.
Yeah, no, I will. Because it's not like there is zero benefit to it and there's zero thingies. It's for me, it's a net negative.
There's zero benefit in the way people are portraying it at the moment.
Well, there's the like it worked in America, and they're talking about what Alaska. Like it doesn't even what you get from the oil company in Alaska doesn't even cover your federal taxes for the year. So all it amounts to is is lower taxes. It actually brings Alaskan taxes down to just below the US average, which when you consider it's fucking Alaska and it's in the middle of nowhere, I think their average state taxes are about 3,500 and they get about 2,000 a year. So that people are going, well, it works in there, it hasn't crashed it there. And it's like, no, well, they might as well just charge you $1,000 yearly tax instead. It doesn't matter. They literally just give you $2,000 and then take $3,500 off you. There's no UBI in Alaska. It doesn't exist.
Well, obviously, Keynes had a lot of different economic ideas. But this is where I'm going to stop discussing because we'll spoil it. But his idea was give people enough to have everything they need or want. Not just need, want. And that's where his idea started. Because Keynes, famous economist.
Yeah, worshipped unnecessarily.
Everybody. Well, a lot of his stuff wasn't along the lines of UBI. A lot of his stuff was fucking brutal. But, the idea, but that's where people stop reading. They don't look beyond it. And beyond it is where the interesting stuff is. How does it work? How do you make it work? And what are the benefits for those that do want to work more? And it goes much more into that. But it'd be interesting to get Stephen's take on it.
Well, this is an interesting one. This is one of the huge dangers of it because, are you talking about what about paedophiles today? Get it? How quickly do you have a government that says, "Oh well, we'll pull it for this because that's unacceptable behavior"?
Do we stop benefits for paedophiles?
No, no. But do you know what I'm saying though? In terms of we do have sanctions. We do make life difficult for them.
But the idea of universal basic income is that it is universal. And there's other reasons for that as well. I mean, again, I don't want to.
It is universal. We just have to hope no government ever gets into power ever again that decides to do something like that.
It's another utopian dream.
What they say, you've been doing hate incidents. You're going to lose 10% of your UBI because of your damage to the greater good.
But you can't take 10% of a UBI in theory. In theory.
You know what I'm saying, though?
No, I know that. Again, but I don't want to have the discussion as this is what we should do. It's another one of those.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one.
That's all it is.
Hey, just before we go, did you see that guy? What's he called? Vernon Jones, the Georgia Democrat. He's publicly quitted. He's quit being a senator, but he's not quit the Democrat Party. But he's also put his name down for Donald Trump. I'm voting Donald Trump. And everyone reckons it's because he's like, there's some huge crack or pedophile thing about to come out with him or something. Like why would somebody he has, if you go through his thing, he has been warming to Trump over time because he's like, and it's undoubtedly true, black people have been doing really well. The prison reform thing has been phenomenal under Trump. And that's what he's quoting. And to be honest, it's not bad what he's saying, but it's how publicly he's just sort of come out for him now. Everyone's like, what have you been up to, mate? What child is about to come out of the woodwork for you to be this public about it? I can't wait. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Vernon Jones.
Just to see if anything does creep out of the woodwork. Yeah,
it's got to. I'm not going to do it now because obviously, everyone Twitter's calling him a house nigger and all the rest of it because he's a Democrat that dared to say, "Oh, I quite like Trump's prison reform." So obviously, the progressive, tolerant people of the internet, of the far left, are all being horribly racially abusive.
Yes, of course.
Calling him what is it, Uncle Tom and all that. Oh, here we go. It's just like, what the fuck, man? You guys are supposed to, your marketing isn't matching It's like when you have roller cola and it's just as
Kind
good
of
as Coke, but
politics.
it's not. Yeah.
Kind. Be kind.
Hashtag be kind. Yeah. Unless you're a Democrat that likes Trump's prison reforms,
Rules
which again is the thing that they complain about. They're like, oh well, there's too many non-violent people. There's too many black people being locked up disproportionately. They get worse crimes. So Trump goes, all right, we'll start letting them out. We can't just let them all out at once, but we'll let them out. Not only that, we're going to have Ivanka. Is it Ivanka, his wife? Personally phone companies herself to get them jobs. Like, hi, yes, this is this is Mrs. President on the phone or whatever. Mrs. Trump, and that's what she does. She personally phones companies, so when they leave, they've got a job waiting for them. I can't imagine it's amazing work, but it's fucking work considering in America there's a huge stigma around being an ex-con, and that's the thing. That is a good thing, But you're not allowed to say that for some reason. But the Democrats need to say that. They need to say actually.
How it is. It's everything's black and white now, isn't it? Good, bad. There's nothing in between. Melania, there we go. Ivanka, Melania, fucking whatever. Mrs. Trump, the porn model.
But they've got to think. Oh well, they've got the prison pipeline and all that, and private prisons, which is just an insane concept. I mean, I know we've got issues here with like G4S and stuff, but the situation in America,
industrial prison services is terrifying.
They're
terrifying.
Contractually guaranteed a certain number of inmates. It's like, are you insane? Like,
it terrifies me a bit when we had the discussion before about privatization of certain things. The privatization of the prison system horrifies me.
To work it like that. I mean, here's the thing, man. If you're getting federal funds, to run your prison, surely you'd be happy for less people because your life's easier. You've got an easier job. Now, the only situation where you demand a certain number of prisoners is because you've just got a fucking sweatshop running out of there, which they obviously do. And you need to keep your production at a certain level, which I don't know how this is still going on. I don't know how, I mean, this has been going on for decades, hasn't it? And for some reason, it just carries on.
And G4S, Happy Dogs just said there.
That's a good point.
G4S is the reason May didn't want to leave the EU. G4S is the biggest security company in the EU. And isn't her husband something to do with G4S as well?
Yeah.
Imagine that. That whole 3 strikes thing in the States as well. That's all for them.
That was what Clinton brought in, wasn't it?
Life in prison for whatever. Perfect. Got you for life. And you'll die young because very few people get particularly old in prison. So it's fine. All works out, yeah. All works out. Plenty of mailbags sewn and then off you fucking pop.
I'd live. They'd keep me going. It wouldn't be a nice life, but they'd keep me alive. I'd have my uses.
Not when you're 65, and every time you fart, it's like a horse coughing. That shit's finished. Guys, we're going to go. Are we back on Saturday? Are you allowed to do Saturday? Or
Probably, yeah. Probably.
We'll definitely be back on Saturday. I don't know about tomorrow night, but definitely Saturday. Do join us. It'll be the virtual pub, so we'll be opening it up and everyone can pile in and get drunk with us. If you'd like to help support the TW project, please go to patreon.com/triggerwarningtv or look at the description below with any way to drop us any coin you might have spare. If you can't or don't want to, that's still fine. Subscribe, like, share the links. You know the score by now. Thank you very much for spending your time with us. We appreciate it very much. And we'll see you Friday night, guys. Have a safe one. Bye-bye.